the main characters are the kind of people, like the main characters, are the kind of people that the original Saints would have beat the shit out of just for existing, and something about that
it's
just
kind
turned
of
me
like
off
Saints
the
Row
game
for Gen
completely.
Z.
Like,
But the entire thing just has like a very kind of fellow kids vibe to it. And I don't know. I'm so sick of this type of like aesthetic and this type of character. I'm so sick of these types of characters like dominating media, but also I'm sick of companies thinking that these types of characters are cool. And honestly, like companies, I mean, I guess companies don't really think that they're cool. Companies are just making them because other people think they're cool, right? Audiences think they're cool. And because like audiences keep going back to see these movies and play these games and watch these TV shows. And so like if it wasn't making money, they wouldn't be making games with, or they wouldn't be making media with these types of characters in it. I'm just like blown away. Who likes this stuff?
I don't know. It's all the Fortnite kids. Honestly, that's all I can think of. All the Fortnite and like made this stuff pretty big. Kids that are super into EDM and like also things like I can't even name any EDM artists right now because I
don't
so
even know
far
what
out of
EDM
that
is.
genre these days.
Okay, I don't.
Electronic dance music. Like people like the one that comes to mind to me like immediate is like Slushy and
I wish I didn't know
Mouse,
this.
stuff like that.
Yeah, but like so I mean I don't know, because like you said, the Fortnite thing, right? It's such a huge, like Fortnite is such a monstrous success. And then we look at like Saints Row very clearly tried to like kind of emulate that same style. So why did Saints Row fail? Where, well, I guess we should talk about like they're saying that it's officially failed, right?
Yeah, I mean CEO Lars.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wingfurs. I might not be pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, he's openly expressed disappointment in the game's financial performance and that it has officially failed to meet expectations.
I wonder what expectations were
the game
for
is a
this
bust.
game. Because like, how do they have internally? How are they building expectations? How are they looking at the same trailers we're looking at, and they have access to more information. All you and I needed was that first trailer, and we were like, wow, we're out. And they have access to more information, and so they should have known. They should have been more in the know about what a disaster this game was going to be, and yet they still had high expectations for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I've watched a couple streamers play it like for like maybe 5-10 minutes, and like it looks like a really fun open world. It looks like there's a lot of stuff to do, but at the same time, it doesn't have that gritty charm that Saints Row originally had of being kind of like a GTA knockoff. It just looks more like, oh, well, let's just fuck around
it's theater kids
out here with random
it's
stuff.
It's theater kids thinking they're edgy and dangerous.
A little disappointing.
And like they're not.
That's a good way to put it.
Nobody nobody's gonna take Gen Z complaining about rent prices in a video game seriously. Like that just looks stupid.
Yeah, we've been dealing with that for like 15 years as millennials. I don't want to fucking hear it. Not doing anything to change the problem.
But like Embracer Group, they still think they're going to make money on this game. It's just not going to be enough to like justify a sequel. So I just they won't until they get their
sales
numbers
out for it already.
Or I mean, like they won't have an idea of like how much money they made on this game until they get their quarterly reports. It doesn't surprise me that they're gonna make money. It's just a matter of like I get, you know what? I guess it does surprise me that they're going to make money. I am for once like impressed by audiences who looked at it and said that looks dumb and decided not to buy it and then didn't buy it, right? Because we have had 3 Watch Dogs games and audiences just keep eating that shit up. And it's like, how do you guys still think Watch Dogs is cool? Like, Watch Dogs.
Okay, in Watch Dogs' defense, Watch Dogs 2 was actually really, really
Watch
good.
Watch Dogs 2 is like my go-to. Well, actually, no. I guess Watch Dogs Legion is like surpassed Watch Dogs 2. I just think that Watch Dogs is just trail mix of whatever young kids are saying on social media. Like, that's all it is. They just go to social media. They scroll through, like, you know, pages and pages and pages of Twitter, and whatever young kids are talking about, they take that and they throw it in the game. They're like, drones, hashtag glasses, you know, neon jackets, and like, there's just so much shit in those games that's so cringy. And I feel like it's Twitter the game until we saw Saints Row, honestly. And then Saints Row came out and it just out Watch Dogs. I know.
That's a phrase I never thought I'd ever hear. But yeah, I don't know. Everything I ever saw about this game, it just led me to believe that it wasn't going to be good. And I'm honestly glad I was right, because it saved me money.
It's really vindicating, and it feels good to, you know, hey, I was right. And then also, like, it is, I don't know, it's good to see God, what am I trying to say? It's good to see the audiences rejecting this shit, saying like, hey, no, we don't want to play this. Because when I saw the trailers for Watch Dogs Legion, and I looked at that and I thought, that looks fucking terrible. And then a bunch of people bought it, and I thought, why are people buying this? It's good to see Saints Row failing, honestly. And that's nothing to say about the developers. I don't want anyone's job to be on the line over this or anything. I just want Embracer Group to take a hint and say, okay, audiences don't like this. We're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah. Or, I mean, if you're going to do Saints Row, like, do it right. Like, don't try to, like, adhere to trends. Just make, like, a GTA clone. That's just ridiculousness. You don't need to, like, I guess say pander to the kids these days, because I don't know, are kids the ones that you're gonna be like aiming a Saints Row game towards?
No, because who has nostalgia for Saints Row? People that are our age, early 30s, right? Because we were 14, 15, 16 when the 360 came out. We bought the 360 and we wanted to play Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't out yet, so we played Saints Row. And like, the current generation doesn't have that going on yet. They don't have that sort of relationship with Saints Row. But the thing about it is that I don't know. I think that the future of the series is kind of in jeopardy at this point.
Yeah, probably. And honestly, I wouldn't blame them if they never make another one, which it's sad for the series, because I loved, like, the previous Saints Row games. Like, don't get me wrong. One was kind of like, man, I'm actually surprised it actually got a sequel. But 2 and 3 were amazing, and 4 was decent. So, like, they were all pretty decent games, like, overall. And now just to see it fall so far is sad.
Here's my pitch. I think that this series is salvageable. I think you can fix it. Because this was like a reboot, right? And so there was Saints Row, Saints Row 2, Saints Row the Third, Saints Row 4, and then like Get Out of Hell was a spinoff. And then this one is Saints Row again. I think you can fix this in like, you know, whenever you're ready to release, to like announce the game with like a super brief teaser, right? Like a 1-minute teaser of just have the main characters from the first one, you know, out doing the things they do that are like, oh, hyper Gen Z and whatever. And then have them do like, you know, have them like put up a sign that says Saints Row 2. And then like a 1-minute teaser, 30 seconds into the teaser, you see them put up a sign that says Saints Row 2. And then the actual Saints from the old Saints Row games come in, kill them all, and flip the 2, turn it into a 5, or turn it like, or just, you know, scratch out the 2, destroy the 2, turn it into a 6, and or turn it into a 5, flip it, turn it into a 5, act like this game never existed, and then just make a real Saints Row game.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'm down for that.
It would immediately win.
Bring back Pierce, bring back Shaundi, bring back Johnny Gat.
Like, it would
give me the characters I know and love.
If we saw Johnny Gat killing these characters, I would, and like honestly, like I have been a casual Saints Row fan. I've played them all except Get Out of Hell, but I haven't ever finished any of them. But like, if you had Johnny Gat killing these characters in your teaser and calling it like Saints Row 5, I'm gonna buy that game. Easy as that.
I mean, I actually just played through
Saints
Row 3 Remastered recently, and it was really good. Oh yeah, my computer had a little bit of trouble with it.
Yeah, that was before you got the 30. I was going to say 3070 shouldn't be having trouble with it.
Yeah, no, it was that. Yeah, no, it wasn't 3070. It was my old RX 580.
Yeah,
which was about 6 years out of date.
I mean, I was going to say, because like I think my 1080 Ti could keep up with that game, and you know, kind of no sweat. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I might pick that one up if I ever saw it on sale cheap. I would be very interested if it was on Steam Deck. If it was Steam Deck compatible, I would think, yeah, this would be a good game to have. But rest in peace.
I think I'll only ever try this game if it comes to Game Pass, or if
this
it's like
one,
$2.
I wouldn't even pay $2. It's got to be a Game Pass game. And honestly, that could be the way they push it over the top. That could be the way it kind of like limps over the finish line to be a profitable game, is make a deal with Game Pass. I would download it just to like play it and laugh at it, but it's still not. I'm not downloading it to have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm not interested in it enough to seek it out. If I find out, hey, it's on Game Pass, and I've got nothing else to play that week, sure, maybe I'll spend 10 minutes playing
I'll download it, I'll play 30 minutes, and then I'll say, well, that's what I thought it was. And then I will move on with my life.
Yep. Pretty much. You know who else is moving on with their life?
Oh, God. Rockstar.
Rockstar.
They have had a rough week.
They've dealt with this weekend. Yep.
GTA 6.
Yep. So, for those who don't know, Grand Theft Auto 6 got had a leak over the weekend. About, I don't know what, 5 minutes of leaked footage from
it was
access,
like a very old
early beta
alpha build
Data build of the
Yeah,
game.
it was like I want to say it was like less than 4 minutes. You got to watch it though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. And it did, like, it definitely looked like it needed some work.
Oh
But
yeah, for
as
sure.
it's an alpha, like, that's expected. Like, the locales that we got to see looked fine. It looked like the stealth element worked a little bit better, at least from what they showed. One of the characters was
in a
sneaking
diner.
around inside of I guess a diner, you call it. Yeah. And they stole stuff, and then they were just sneaking around, and cops came in, and they were able to
I didn't
just
notice that part.
crouch right on by them. And they were like,
Yeah,
and walked in. I thought that was pretty interesting. So,
go ahead.
But
I was just gonna say, I was like,
no,
I was
ahead,
watching it, and I was thinking,
No,
like,
go
well,
ahead.
this looks like Grand Theft Auto. But then I like actually paid attention. I mean, not that I wasn't paying attention before, but then I like actually really looked at it, and I was like, wait a minute, this looks way better than Grand Theft Auto 5. Like the textures, the animations, everything looks way better than Grand Theft Auto 5. But it's sort of like if you just sort of like blur your vision, if you just don't like unfocus your vision, it's like, yeah, this looks like Grand Theft Auto 5, which I think that that's a good thing. I think the fact that like we're looking at it and this looks like Grand Theft Auto 5, but also it looks like when you actually like focus in on something, it looks so much better. That's promising to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm sure it's come a long way since this original footage was taken, but yeah, it gives me hope that the next one's gonna play good and look good. Because, like, I mean, I look at GTA 5 now, and I'm like, the game still looks all right, but it's definitely aging.
No, it'll be
what,
10
12
next
years old
year.
now. 10 years old now.
It's 9 this
wow.
month. Actually, like maybe to the day.
I thought it was older than that, huh?
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. It might be 9 to the day. Release date. Let's see, September 17th. So it's just past its ninth birthday. September 17th of 2013. I agree. It's starting. It's kind of been done the favor of 2 remasters, like of being remastered twice. But it looks like a game that's it looks like a 7th generation game that has been remastered twice.
Now, the guy who did this, don't remember his
Lapsus.
name.
Well, so he's part of like a hacking
the
group called Lapsus.
Yeah.
And
okay. But yeah, they posted the video originally, and then they said that they also had.
Oh yeah, I forgot
GTA
about
5
that. Thanks for
source
bringing that
code
up. Yes,
that they were selling. Yeah. And I do remember seeing a couple, or at least hearing about a couple transactions for like hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin for this. Whether or not it was actually the stuff and actually got leaked out.
Oh yeah, I mean the source code for GTA 5. It's like,
big,
oh yeah,
though.
I have the source code for the best-selling video game of all time. Who wants it? But I can't. I don't know who would buy that.
Yeah, it just worries me for online.
Who's gonna buy that? Maybe some Chinese developer, because they just don't have super strict copyright laws, or they seem to just ignore our copyright laws over there. But like, and it's not a race thing. It's just that just happens. But yeah, so because my question for you is like, who would buy this? Because if you buy it and use it, then like, isn't that implicating yourself?
I mean, kind of. Like, I feel like maybe another hacker group might buy it just to have the information to possibly like do stuff in online to try and get information out of other people, try and get into Rockstar systems through GTA. But I don't know. Like that's a lot of money for
like a couple $100,000 is what I heard. And then they had the fucking balls to tell Take-Two, like very publicly, hey, I want to negotiate. Okay, buddy.
Yep.
God.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rockstar actually just, they took a step ahead of that and they were like, yeah, we're not going to negotiate.
Yeah.
And we're going to send out this statement on Twitter instead.
The statement's in the doc. Do you want to read the statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll read through it. A message from Rockstar Games. We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party legally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our system, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and, of course, will properly introduce you to this game when it is ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation.
So the thing that jumped out to me is that, like, we don't anticipate any disruption to our live game services, right? They were afraid of speculation causing, like, speculation saying, oh, the golden goose is going to stop laying eggs, right? The golden goose in this metaphor obviously being GTA Online. Because every moment that GTA Online is down, that is them losing money. And like losing a lot of money, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
People buying tons of shark cards
much on Grand Theft Auto. So I kind of think that they issued this statement because they weren't going to be blackmailed. And like, to their credit, good move, right? This is the smart thing to do. We don't tolerate. We don't negotiate this shit. But then B, like, I think that they were afraid of their stock taking a dip, and it did. It took a hit when markets opened on Monday. The even like the pre-opening trading had Take-Two stock down 6%, which when you're as big as Take-Two, that's like millions and millions of dollars. Huge. So, or like maybe billions, I don't know. But yeah, it's a big deal.
I'm not a stock guy. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, it's pretty big. Now, question is, like, what happens to these hackers now? Like, how much shit are they really in? Like, is Rockstar going to go after them? Are they going to make an example of them? Who's getting involved in all this?
I think that, like, it obviously it all depends on if they get caught, right? I think that they might get away with it. I think that they might never get caught.
Oh yeah.
And if they don't get caught, then I doubt they would ever try something like this again. But if they get caught, I think they're looking at prison time.
Oh, 100%. Fines, prison time.
Yeah.
Like the FBI has gotten
the FBI is opening an investigation into this. And I think that, Take-Two is going to fucking throw the book at them. Like, I think Take-Two is going to do everything they can to make sure that these guys go away for a really long time. Like you said, to make an example. Like, hey, you wanna hack our stuff? You think it's cute to hack our systems and leak our games? this is what happens.
Yeah, like it would not surprise me, but I still don't think that's going to deter anyone. Like, no offense, but hackers, like, if they can find a way to do it,
Yeah.
they're going to try to do it at all costs, even if it's
There's
for
like a certain
reason or
personality
not.
type that's required to be a hacker, right? Yeah, I would agree. I'm as far as like would it deter me? Yes. Would it? But like I'm not the people they're trying to scare, right? I don't have the ability to go hack Rockstar's systems, and so
Yeah.
exactly. So like, would it scare
Nor
me
do
and
I.
you? Yes, but we're not the ones they're trying to scare because we don't know how to do it. I think that, like I said, it takes a certain type of personality to be a hacker, and I think that part of that personality is just almost a die-hard kind of fuck the man attitude to the point you are willing to go to prison for it. And I think that that's what we'll see with these hackers if they get caught. And I think that, like you said, it won't really deter them. I think that these guys in particular, if they get caught, like whether it's one guy or a few like lapses, if they get caught, I think their lives are ruined, right? I think that, years in prison, they will never financially.
Oh,
recover
100%.
from this.
Yep, assets will be seized. Won't be able to get a job.
Well,
after they
okay,
get out.
actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you on
It'll
that
be over for
one
them.
thing. They will get jobs for sure, because that's actually something hackers used to do, and I think they might still do it. Is they will hack into a system, and then they will just leave their business card digitally, and say like, "Hey, I did this. Here's my info. If you want to contact me, I'm happy to consult you on how to make it so that this can't happen again." And
Yeah, but I think in those cases
Right,
they aren't
they're-
really stealing and releasing
they're
anything.
not.
Just
But
being like, hey, I did
I
this.
think that if these guys, if these guys get caught, obviously their names are going to be published. They're going to go away. They're going to go to prison for, a few years minimum. And when they get out, there will be, tech companies lining up around the block to say, hey, we want to quietly hire you to work on our cybersecurity team. Like Microsoft. Microsoft is well known for doing that.
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they know more than I do, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I
chance
mean,
it
I
with
wouldn't either. I
someone
wouldn't like
that.
Hey,
honestly.
you've,
But
yeah,
hey, I'm not the head of a major corporation. I don't have millions and millions of dollars to just throw
Yeah.
away on.
I agree.
on somebody.
Maybe it's not a decision you and I would make, but also we're not running, major, like we're not the head of some of the largest corporations in the world. So clearly life choices that we have made have led us down different paths.
For sure. Now, I gotta ask. After seeing the footage, how excited are you? I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
know
pretty
what?
hyped,
I'm
honestly.
gonna be in the same boat with you. I think that like I said, you kind of squint and it looks like GTA 5. You focus, it looks new. But I think the fact that it just looks like the bones are still there, right? It looks like the bones of Grand Theft Auto are still there, and after putting God knows how many hours, 500 plus hours into GTA 5, I am happy to be getting more.
Yeah, same. I mean, like you said, it all looks pretty clean. It looked like it was working well. You can definitely tell that it has been upgraded. It's not going to be just the same graphics as GTA 5, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Definitely needed to take a step forward on that one. I do like the implications too of the footage that
Yes.
the leak that we heard about the female playable character kind of seems like it seems like it was true, and I'm really wondering how far they're going to be taking this Bonnie and
Like
Clyde-esque
storyline.
um
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
and no,
know,
I totally agree.
Thank you.
I know that a lot of people were really upset about like when that information leaked out about like, oh, well, they're just making it a female playable character to be woke. And it's like, I don't really agree. I think that is that like some part of the calculus of making that decision? Yes. But is that the entire reason for making the decision? No. And like, even if it is some part of the calculus of the decision, if they still tell a good story, which like, if it's Bonnie and Clyde inspired, that sounds fucking awesome. And I am totally on board for that. And if that's what they're going to do with it, then yeah, I'm in. That sounds really good. Tell a good story. And like you said, this seems to confirm that was all real.
Yep. Who was doing? I don't even know who it was that originally leaked that information.
I don't remember. Oh, no.
Still,
it was the snitch.
Like,
yeah, the snitch has not missed yet, to my knowledge. So he's a guy to watch. If you're on Twitter, follow the snitch. He seems to have a lot of sources. But yeah, the snitch, he got this one. He seems to have gotten this one right and like nailed it. And I am excited. I think that the Bonnie and Clyde thing is going to be really cool, especially like seeing them just. Yeah. Did you finish Red Dead Redemption 2? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I got more than like 3 or 4 hours into that game.
But yeah, I was
with the hell
you.
out
I
of
played
me,
the first
so
10 hours and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And then I dipped and then I came back like several months later and I picked it up and I was right on the cusp of like, oh, now it's going to get amazing. And it did. And I loved it. But yeah, it's definitely a slow start. But one of the main plot points in Red Dead Redemption 2 had a lot to do with like Dutch going further and further into madness, into these extremes, into like, just one more score. And to like the idea of watching these Bonnie and Clyde type characters just feeding off each other as they kind of spiral out of control. That's going to be a fun story to see.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. Like, especially like with one of them, like let's say hypothetically wants to like call it quits, and the other one's like, nah, we got to keep going.
Yeah, and like that's something that's kind of what happens in Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm not sure they would do that angle again, but like it would be fun to see, especially since it would be a very different dynamic with like just the two of them versus the whole gang in Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I think that's going to be really fun. I wonder. So something that actually kind of surprised me, and I wanted to get your take on this. They have been very forward and like they've been very upfront with their audience about like, we don't really know how to do Grand Theft Auto anymore because a huge part of Grand Theft Auto is just lampooning American culture, right? And with American culture moving so fast these days with like social media and everything, by the time the game comes out, it would not be relevant anymore. And so when they said that, I thought for sure they were going to make a historical game, like an 80s or a 90s game. Are you surprised to see this in like the modern day?
Not particularly. I mean, GTA has always kind of been more in the modern day, anyways. Like, I can't think of one off the top of my head that took place in the past.
San Andreas. Yeah, and
Was San Andreas set in the past?
Liberty City, or not Liberty City, Vice City and Vice City Stories. Three and Liberty City were, three and Liberty City Stories were both modern day. 4 was modern day. But yeah, Vice, San Andreas, and Vice City Stories were all historical. 80s Miami.
Yeah, I haven't played those games in almost 15 years now, so. I know, because, well, I mean, it's a remasters.
Yeah, God. Do you think they'll try and do that again? Are they going to try and like, oh, sorry, guys, we really fucked up. We're going to do it again.
I hope not. Like, I get what you guys are going for.
They released
Thank you, but
Grand Theft Auto 5 on... They have released Grand Theft Auto 5 on 60% of the home PlayStation consoles. Like, at this point,
yeah,
like PlayStation, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, at this point, having come out originally on PS3, Grand Theft Auto came out midway through PlayStation. Midway through, like, if you're thinking generations wise, Grand Theft Auto came out midway through the history of PlayStation.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 5 did. And it's still the modern Grand Theft Auto. It's still the current one. So I think that it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to go that direction again. Try to be like, oh yeah, we're not going to remaster it. We're going to remake it. Yeah.
Please no.
Do like,
give me something new. And I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get sick of all these.
It's an interesting conversation to have because probably
better for another day.
Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah,
so we could go for like.
I kind of agree with you, but then there's some that are just done so well that I'm like, oh, but do these ones. So like Resident Evil, right? Resident Evil 2 and 3, those games are amazing. And like, I don't want to say, hey, don't remake games. I just want to say, hey, if you're going to remake games, make sure it's like Resident Evil 2 good.
All right. Well. Oh yeah. I got nothing more to say on that.
You're trying to keep the train
another
on the
2
tracks.
hours. So I'm trying to.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to hold back. Yeah. The only question I think I have left for you is when do you think we'll be seeing this game? Because the footage looks like it's probably like a year or two old.
I think that there were dates on the footage that said 2020. How much. So like. They have without a doubt made progress.
So do we see a teaser next year around E3 time?
I don't know. What do you think is reasonable?
Realistically, I don't see the game launching until 2025, 2026. Realistically. I could see them potentially giving us a teaser next year with a trailer in 2024.
I think 25 is the absolute soonest this game comes out.
I don't know. Yeah, I would be surprised if it came out before then.
Go ahead.
I really would. Because, I mean, just from their message, it seems like there's still a ways out before they want to show us this.
And I think that I think that there is one major variable that makes this game really hard to predict, and that is Grand Theft Auto Online, right? Because it's such an incredible cash cow. They're not gonna want to walk away from it. And like, look at Red Dead Online, right? Red Dead Online honestly was kind of sacrificed. Like, it was a sacrificial lamb. It just went like, it wasn't taking off. People weren't moving from Grand Theft Auto Online to Red Dead Online. So they just killed Red Dead Online. Now, that being said, they cannot possibly hope to keep Grand Theft Auto 5 online alive with Grand Theft Auto 6 on the market, right? They can't possibly hope to like, oh, well, people aren't migrating from Grand Theft Auto 5 online to Grand Theft Auto 6 online. So we're just gonna kill Grand Theft Auto 6 online. That's not gonna happen. Especially like looking at the way it is now. No. I mean, like we were saying, this is year 9, right? Well, I guess this is year 10. They just started its 10th year. And so like there's no way, like I guarantee you they're designing Grand Theft Auto 6 with a successor to GTA, and they are thinking, okay, this is going to last 10 or 15 years. Like this is going to be our cash cow for the next 10 or 15 years. And so like just like taking that variable into account, I think makes it basically impossible to guess when this game is going to come out. I agree with you. 25 is the absolute soonest. I won't be surprised if this game is like 2027.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on like what you just mentioned, what's it going to take to get people to move from 5 online to 6 online? Is it just going to be the GTA name, or like how much content are they going to have to be able to provide at launch?
Well, and how do they go about actually migrating characters? Because are you going to be able to bring your character over, or are they going to ask you to just like, are they going to ask you to, hey, like whatever, start over? And like, I mean, look at World of Warcraft. A huge part of why World of Warcraft has succeeded for so long is because they have never forced the players to restart. So I can't imagine them asking the players to restart. And so is there gonna like, how likely do you think it is that they're gonna be able to migrate our characters into GTA 6 online?
I feel like we'll be able to, but I feel like there'll be a limit to what we can bring with us. Like, we might be able to bring some guns. We might be able to bring our stats.
I bet
we might be able to bring our level. I don't know if we're going to be able to... And money.
Yeah, that maybe like 10
a
mil
certain
or whatever,
amount.
20 mil.
Like, maybe like... Yeah, I was thinking like a max of like 5 million or something. Just to get you started. And... Because, like, I don't see... Like, the property's not going to transfer over. It's going to be a completely different world. I can't imagine them allowing you to bring cars and stuff over, because most of them probably either won't be in the game at this time of launch, or
it's this problem of like things coming into existing in Grand Theft Auto 5 that won't exist in Grand Theft Auto 6 at launch, and like might not even exist in Grand Theft Auto 6 at all, ever. But and so like with migration, do you think that they'll treat the migration to Grand Theft Auto 6 online in the same way that they've treated the migration to like to the next gen consoles? Like every time they've migrated to next gen consoles, it's basically like once you migrate, you don't get to go back. Do you think they'll do that?
I think they will do that, and I think that is the way to do it. Be like, all right, if you guys want to like keep your characters and enjoy GTA 6, you better think real hard about leaving GTA 5.
That's the way to do it. I think the thing that kind of throws a little bit of a monkey wrench in the gears of that and makes it a harder decision than it ever has been before. Because when it was like, okay, I'm going to migrate from PS3 to PS4, duh. And then like, okay, I'm going to migrate from PS4 to Xbox Series X, like, duh. But I think that the thing that's going to make this decision different to go from 5 to 6 is saying goodbye to Los Santos. Because we won't get to go back there. Well, I guess that's assuming that this game doesn't take place in Los Santos, which, you know what? Like, you were done having questions for me, but I'm going to ask you, where do you think this game is going to take place?
I don't know. It definitely wasn't Liberty City. It could have possibly been Los Santos, but like, I don't know. It had more of a southern vibe to it. I feel like it'll be more like an Atlanta,
Really?
like Georgia or something, like
Something
along those
new
lines.
entirely.
I don't feel like it's gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like. I don't know. I just don't feel like what we saw fit either of those environments.
Do you
So like don't get me wrong, I'd love to go back to
think
either.
that potentially
I'd
maybe
like to see
it'll be
something
like
new at this
a
point.
massive map with multiple cities? The primary city would be like Vice City.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah,
I could, with like with the push to huge open worlds and seeing how much bigger they have gotten since GTA 5.
Yeah,
I can definitely see
and
that
I
being
think
a thing.
that honestly, I would love to see them kind of do what they did with San Andreas again, because if you look at like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was actually one of the most ambitious, if not the most ambitious, Grand Theft Auto title ever, because it had Los Santos, which is LA, but then it also had I don't remember what they were called, but it had like an analog for Vegas. It had another one for San Francisco. And so there were these three major cities that were recreated in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Maybe we see something like that happen again. Maybe we see like, okay, there's, Vice City is the main city, and that's Miami. But then maybe, like you said, maybe there is maybe there's another big city up north that is Atlanta, and maybe there's, a Guarma, right? Well, I mean, Cuba, but like maybe they call it Guarma because that's what it's called in Red Dead Redemption 2. And maybe there's like an analog for Havana.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, God, if we're gonna go that far,
Dude,
add
New Orleans,
into the mix
that
if we're
would
gonna
be
stick to the
amazing.
southern sector.
Cut out the Atlanta one, do New
probably make
Orleans.
that work
New
out.
Orleans, Vice City, New Orleans, Miami, and Havana. That's a fucking sick game. And like, get really ambitious. I like you said, you're pretty stoked on this. I am too, especially after talking to you about this. Like, I hope that they get really ambitious. I think that this could end up like everyone has been looking at Grand Theft Auto 5 and saying like, okay, well, there's no possible way that they'll sell as many copies as Grand Theft Auto 5. There's no possible way that it could be as good as Grand Theft Auto 5. So they need to find a way to gracefully and like to just gracefully take it down a notch. But I think that Rockstar is kind of internally saying no, and they're gonna push it. They're gonna crank it to a level that we've never even known possible.
I really hope they do.
We'll be playing it on Xbox.
God, I just like. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, once it's
I'll probably be playing
once
it on
it's
PC
$10.
too,
Once I can get it, once I can go to cdkeys.com and get a code for $10, then I'll play it on PC. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm sorry to see that Rockstar's had to deal with this unfortunate event, but there's a lot of good that's actually come out of it.
I in no way think that they did this intentionally, right? Like, this is not how they wanted to reveal it, but I do think that it maybe took some pressure off of them to be like we have seen the game now. And so now suddenly it's like, oh, okay, there's, pressure has been a little bit of the pressure has been released, and suddenly they like, it's obviously not cool that this happened. But I bet the developers specifically are taking a little bit of a sigh of relief of like, okay, people have seen the game. There's not this massive pressure of like the first time we show it to them. The fact that we saw it in the state that it was in, like completely unfinished. And by the way, anyone out there who's saying, oh, Grand Theft Auto 6 looks bad because look at this, like, it's like, dude, fuck you. It's not done yet. Okay. It's not even close to done in that. Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah,
if you think that it looks bad based on that, you're an idiot. But it's, but I do, like, I think that it's sort of like, hey, you know, this isn't, we didn't choose to show it to you this way, but you saw it, warts and all, and now the pressure for when we actually choose to show it to you, the pressure for it to be absolutely perfect is significantly lower.
Yeah, I don't have worries now. Like I mean, not as many anyways. Like I still worry about a few things. But like it looks promising. It looks like they're headed in a really good direction. Like I don't have to worry about like whether or not the game is going to look better. I don't have to worry about
whether it's going to look and feel like
it's going to play better.
Right?
It looks
because
like
now we know it does.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely shows that they're putting their heart and soul into it, even if it was like a small
agree.
thing.
And I think
ago.
that's the most important takeaway. And like that's like I don't mean to cut you off short or anything, but like I think that that's just the best place to leave it for us is like they're putting their heart and soul into it, and that's very obvious. This leak only did good things for me. I am only more excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 now than I ever have been. And it's because of this leak. I have seen it in an incomplete state. And honestly, maybe this is a lesson for other developers. Show us your games like this early. Show it to us so that we see that you are really working hard on it. And yeah,
that you're, actually working on it. That something's actually being done. Because like we've heard like rumors of it being like a thing for years, but we've not seen anything concrete on it. And this just helps a lot. This makes me know it's coming eventually. Not anytime in the next
really
like 3 or 4
good
years,
to see
but
there
it's
are
coming.
portions of the game that are like playable because like, okay, they can say, oh, Grand Theft Auto 6 is in development and they're like working on a logo. Right. But to see that like, no, we've heard rumors that there's this Bonnie and Clyde storyline, and now we're seeing that like, yeah, these rumors are true, which means that they have a story figured out, they have characters figured out. There are portions of the game that are playable. There are characters, some of them, like not all the characters were fully rendered, but like some of them were fully rendered. Like they are making progress, and they are, like you said, pouring their heart and soul into this game. I am super hyped. This is it. It only did good things for me.
Yeah, same. I'm sorry it happened,
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm glad it did.
Well, that's all we've got on that Grand Theft Auto leak. We are going to be back sometime within the next couple of days. We're going to be talking about PSVR 2 and how Sony is telling us to go fuck ourselves once again. If you liked what you heard, make sure to leave us a rating and review on whatever platform you found us on. Does help us out a lot because it demonstrates to advertisers that we are worth advertising on. So if you could do that, we would really appreciate it. We will be back next time talking about PSVR 2. Until then, reset.
Reset.